Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Is this thing on? Hope everybody is doing very well. Welcome to the stream. We're doing the Riviera line in the 50s tonight. I'm hyped. Steam. Yes. Excellent, you can hear me. It's fantastic. Hopefully you can hear the game bubbling away in the background. As always, let me know if the volume needs upping or downing as we go. So I thought I'd start with a nice tough one. Hauling a bunch of coaches up a really steep hill. So one of the things I will start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of waffle and then I'm going to restart it. Because one of the questions that we'll come back and do that in a minute. So one of the questions I get asked quite a lot is about how you drive a steam engine and how you manage the coal and so forth. And so let me start by just covering how to do that. So if you've got the F4 HUD, you can turn it off with that, with the F4 key. And if you've got the you can use F3 and F4 to switch the HUDs. Press the same key to get rid of it. Once you've got these off, yes, I know it. Once you've got these off, you can press the F5 key twice, and you can see the details in the top left corner of what's going on. So up here. Now, key numbers you're interested in are the fire mass, the steam generation rate, and actually for setting it up. So the key thing you want to know is the reason that people run out of steam, aside from various things, is not having enough fire, because you don't understand. They just think more coal means more fire, surely. But more coal actually ends up meaning less fire. So you've got to find the right, what they call the ideal fire mass. So if you keep an eye on fire mass and steam generation rate, and you start coaling, which means press the F and the R keys together so that they start opening, and you hear it. So you hear the firebox is open. You notice the fire mass is now going up. Now steam generation rate is now going up, which tells us we're going. This is good. This is positive. We were below the optimal fire mass, ideal fire mass, and now we're adding more. So all we're watching for is this steam generation rate start going down. So keep watching. It doesn't happen very. It's about 500 and some odd pounds it starts going down. Essentially it's a triangle, and the ideal fire mass is in the middle, and if you're below it or above it, then you're not going to put the right amount in. What's worse is that if you're above it, it starts going down rapidly. So watch this, any minute now you'll see it start absolutely tanking it down. Yeah? So I now stop it. So we're around about the right fire mass here. The game is a bit loud, is it? I'm running out of room to drop it down on the volume bar. Is that better? Quite loud. Right. So that's how you find out ideal fire mass. At ideal fire mass, your steam engine will generate the most amount of steam it can generate, which will help you particularly when you're trying to go up the hill up there in a minute. That's probably the best thing to look at right now. The other thing to look at is the brakes, actually. So this is your brake gauge up here, in particular the needle, this one on the left hand side. This is your brake handle, so we're in the release slot I think at the minute. If we put it down into a maximum apply, so that means we're applied. Now if you've driven the 101 on this or TSW, you're familiar with this, it's manually lap brakes, works exactly the same. So you notice as I move it back into hold, you see how it's changing, it's only going down slowly. So I can get hold of it and then I can move it, release the brakes a bit, I can apply the brakes to it. Get a bit of practice just applying the brakes and then holding it. Just apply the brakes and hold it. And that way, once you get the hang of how you do that, you can learn a bit better about how you actually stop the train without it screeching to a halt all the time. That's with the semicolon and the apostrophe keys, by the way. Just keep it nice and simple. So that's that. The cut-off is this one. As we'll drive, I'll talk to you about that one. But that's really it. I mean, the key thing you want to do is get your water as well. Water apparently is useful. I've no idea about that. We'll come with water in a minute. Water essentially is there's blower. No, that's a blower valve. We've got injector valve. Is that one of them? Yeah, live steam injector, and then there'll be a tap somewhere. I don't know where the tap is. I never use the tap. We're getting water in now. There we go, look, we're getting water in. Where's this tap anyway? I have no idea where this mythical tap is. I'm using the J key. Never mind. Water valves are on the fireman's side near the door. These ones. Oh, there you go. These ones. There you go. K and the L key. Sorry. So these ones are your valves. Are we in England? We are in England. We are on the south. We're in Wales on the south. Wales? What? I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. Yes, we're on the south coast somewhere. There's water here. Right. Anyway, let me restart that so that we can not be running super late. But yeah, what you want to do when you start a scenario or a quick drive or something with a steam engine, figure out its ideal fire mass, and then if you just keep it at the ideal fire mass, just coal up to it and stop, and then let it come back down, and then coal up to it and stop, and let it come back down, and so forth. Then you'll find that you get more performance out of it. You can push it harder. Right, so the first thing I want to do is that timetable. The turntable is lacking. There's something about that turntable. Oh, here we go. Couldn't put my finger on what was wrong with that turntable. Oh, by the way, other feature that's very cool in this is the absolutely essential Cornish pasty. You also want to start any movements with the cylinder cocks open, the C key, and you can see it here. Press the C key to open or close. It's what causes the steam puffs out the front. No, I was showing something, Tordek. And I didn't want to start the scenario by wasting a load of time, so I've restarted it. Right, once we're on the turntable, press the G key. Right. That's all lined up. Release the brakes. You want the F4 HUD for a bit, do you? Okay. Remember, give it small amounts of power and let it roll. There's no rush. What you'll find is that there's a lag in the way steam engines operate, and what you can do is otherwise you'll find yourself constantly chasing them. Right, it's filled up with water. Don't know where we're going to spray that water. Almost in the cab. So topping up with water, you can see that going up. It's a class 58 pan, yeah, no, it's 57. I have to say, Riviera line in the 50s is one of my favourite steam era routes. Right, so we will need clearance to come back up into turntable shunt. Oh, I think I might need to change the road on the... I don't think I was meant to turn round. Oh well. We'll go and turn round again. There's the instruction there says couple to the front. Alright. before I turn around again. Interestingly, I've got a red signal there. Oh, here we go. I've got permission to go through it. Right, we've got the white, so let us go back. Let's check our path. Always check your path before you move, just to make sure it's going where you want, or you might need to do any manual junction moves. Anytime. Jay, I'm doing tomorrow's stream is a 10 o'clock one. Tomorrow's BR155 stream is a 10 o'clock one. Hey there, Professor Fate. What route is next for TSW? You'll find out when it's announced on Ripley. Ground signal is okay for letting us through. BR155 is a German container on wheels, yes. Make sure you've got all your questions on 155 for me tomorrow. It's easier for me to just tell you the answers to them or show you them when we're actually in there. Right, has it changed the points to get me into the platform? It has. Yes, it was Professor Fate. My name wasn't spelled correctly, but that's nothing new. It was an interesting article, wasn't it, Professor Fate? It's a shame the brakes leak on a little bit. Ed, does this one have a small ejector? Sorry, he's just saying I've got to just deal with it. Right. Got the coal going in. got water just topping up. Might as well start healthy. Obviously now I've got a longer train, it takes longer to release everything. Bringing the car forward a bit towards 0 as we go. Yeah, I'm shoveling coal as we go. Keeping it around the 508. I pressed left square bracket, Ed, and that seemed to bring up the command. What should I do? Have I pressed something wrong? 25 limit. Let's go for it. That's better. Brakes are back on release now. Brakes are staying off. No, they're not. We're applying. Excellent. We're in the 45 yet. So building boiler pressure, we're putting water in at the moment, coal is about right, and we have just hit the grade, 1 in 66. We are going up a steep old hill here. Tank engines ran forwards and backwards just the same mark. What are you on? 1 in 66. fire top back up again. Little and often on the fire. So we know that the ideal fire mass is around 505, 506. So just keep a little bit below, just top it up, top it up, top it up. You go too much either way, you're going to come down on the steam, and on a hill like this you need all the steam you can get. Careful balancing act with the steam engine. I haven't admit I've not driven one of these in quite a while, and that's my get out clause if this doesn't work. Coming up on the tunnel. We've got the viaduct just in front of the tunnel. The chuff-chuffs are what it's all about, Gotthardbahn. That's why we run steam engines, is to have extra chuff-chuffs. Oh, I'm not doing a very good job on this. I let the fire mass get down just a little bit too much. Accelerating now. Yes, we're accelerating again. Hey! There's the viaduct, there's the tunnel. You don't like the bing bongs, fake bing thing? What if they're bing bongs in a steam train? I bet the Japanese do, you know. You can point it out now if you want. I already can see the water level in. But with my boiler pressure where it is, I'm playing a funny balancing game. Hey, let's see unicorn. Make sure the firebox is closed, don't want to make that mistake too many times in your career. One in 100, it's an easier climb now. I think we level off shortly, we're not far off Churston. It's in 1.3 miles. Boiler pressure is in dire straits. How are the lights and so forth powered? The steam, I don't know whether it's done on these, is it? Because normally it's steam from the locomotive that's piped into all of it. I don't know whether that also drives the power. Or have they got dynamos on the coaches then? Must have, I can't remember. Right, boiler's topping up, fire mass is topping up, speed is topping up, all of the topping up. Coaches are battery powered lights charged from dynamo on the axle. There you go. Oh, that's brilliant, only me. I'm glad to hear that. I can give the boiler a break, take the water off because it hammers your steam usage rate. Oh, that's really good to hear, only me. I'm glad that would help. How are we doing? 150. Oh, I think we're levelling off. There we go. I made it up to the top. Ed didn't think I'd make it to the top. I'm not going to lie, I have my doubts. It's a good fun one because it's the real test of managing the loco correctly. As you get better at it, come back and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And you'll see that you get better at it as you get better with learning how to manage the fire. We should never discuss my timekeeping it. This is a universal truth. Usually when I'm at videos and having a happy day, you need to calm down a bit. That's PK. Ed gave me a tip before I started. How do you mean? Oh, I didn't see that. Right, where are we? Where are we going? Speed limit? No, not that it really matters. Pedalston personal time, exactly. Pedalston standard time. We've got a red light, we've got a green light. I'm going to do another scenario after this one, Arsenal fan. Because having got up the hill, I've now got the other problem. Now we go down the hill. Goodrington siding, 2.4 miles. I probably haven't vaping kid now. I can't even remember how to set the lights up on this one. Oh no, here we go. That one probably. It's not the B key then. B key? Is that what I'm looking for? Ed, remind me what the button is for the blower. N. Okay. Not gonna lie. It's not what I was expecting. Ah, Billiam, you're gonna buy a steam engine? Fantastic. They are really good fun. They are hard. There is a simple controls, obviously. You got grumpy yet? I can't remember any time you've ever got grumpy. Oh, I've got the right damper open. Ah, there's a good show. I completely didn't check dampers. No, that's still in the box. Where's the dampers on this thing? Ed, where are the dampers? There they are, over there. Now we need to manage our speed. It's just managing that inches of mercury down and up so we get the right speed that we want to maintain. Just gently slowing down for this 35. Use the reverser. I normally use the brakes, to be fair. Steam is a heck of a lot more fun to drive. It's a lot more varied depending, the experience will depend on how you drive it. It feels like a much more, the locomotive is reacting to what you're doing in a much more dynamic way than than diesel or electric does. I'm nearly down to 50 now. I'm nearly down to 50. Go. See? Steam takes more finesse. Yeah, that's that word. Train boy's not here though to get upset about it. So. And we're just stopping at Goodridge and Siding. Still going downhill, so we still need to hold our speed a bit, otherwise we'll suddenly race away. Ground signal's good. You don't have to lose your concentration long driving a steam, that's for certain, baked bean kid, before suddenly you find that either a brake pressure's gone out of control or your boiler pressure is really bad, or and your fire mass is wrong, and suddenly you're going to have to stop and correct everything and then try and get going again. And knowing me, at least, it would be on a hill. blower on to pump up the boiler pressure a bit. Not that we need it. Right, let's check our final moments. We are clear all the way into the siding. So I'm just driving stuff on the Riviera line in the 50's tonight, so I'm going to do the Grange next. E55, yeah, I've got the RGB route on here, yeah. Love that chopping. Darn it, the train was longer than I thought. It even stopped on its own, look at that. No news on that yet, Deebs, I'm afraid. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an idea. I mean, don't drive it as slowly as I did, but you know, if you're just learning steam and you manage to get it up there, you're doing all right. And then as you come back, you can just get better at doing it. Oh, there's another bit, is there? Oh, okay. What have I got to do now? I thought that was the end of this one. Drop off the empty stock in carriage siding 1. Where's that? Oh, I've got to push it up there, have I? That one? No. That one. There you go. Hey there, Train Master. We're on a bit of a bank, so while the brakes come off, I'll put some power on. But these jets are the cylinder cocks. If I press the C key, you'll see the jets stop. Ground signal's clear. Brakes are still coming off on all these coaches. How much throttle do you have to give it? Just enough. Not any more, not too little, just enough. I'm exactly the same as you, Ruin Fonseca. That's why we designed a different score system for TS2020. Oh, she should start moving in a minute. Well, if you keep your steam generation above your steam usage, then your boiler pressure will always slowly go upwards, which is not a bad place to be. Man, the brakes on this thing take forever. Oh, because I shifted into wagon brake mode instead of coaches. Oh. I don't even know how to do that, so. Push these up into the siding. That one, I guess. Yep. Don Wibley, there's already one third-party piece of content out, the BR204 by Rivet Games. Is the A4 steam engine in TS? Yes, it is, Jay. I mean, you can run the A4 on it. It's a loco pack, so it doesn't come with a route, but you can run it obviously on any route. It comes with scenarios on the London Brighton line, but there's nothing to stop you putting it on the East Coast main line in a quick drive. Return the loco to siding 1. Only me, there's numerous locos that have had external assistance. Mr. Fisk here, Ed, has done a number of projects on TSW. Mike Goltz helped with the 425. Bit nervous about all these red lights, but Control Tab is not doing anything. Ground signal's good. Back this up into here and we're done. You threw down the Moggy Speedrun challenge at Sam. Nice. Yeah, that was the scenario I wrote for London Brighton on the A4 pack, Ed. So you're talking many, many years ago now. Let's see how you did. I did brilliantly. Ignore that score nonsense. I know I did brilliantly. You all believe I did brilliantly, don't you? It's just because it was so late. It took far too long to get up that hill. Yes, you do, Dom. Repeat after me. Matt did brilliantly. Okay? Excellent. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Right, next scenario. What was I going to do? There it is. That one. I did the voiceover for West Somerset on TSW, yes. So have numerous people done voiceovers. We've all had good fun with it. Thank you, Fonseca. Good to know you're on board. Right, we're going to do the Grange now, because I like the Grange. No, Dimitri didn't do any voiceovers, only me. You're running a late-running passenger service from the north between Exeter and Kingswear. The weather doesn't look great, and you need to keep your eye out for signals. Allow passenger. Well, you always have to do that, to be fair. Allow passengers to board at Exeter before departing. What? I'm sure that said I was a passenger service. We got the light. No, we don't. Right, in which case we have a good opportunity to just sit and load up the fire mass. This is a way below the maximum fire mass. Right, now we're in realistic driving mode as well. I was trying to find the key for it earlier on, Ed, and I couldn't remember what it was, and I accidentally pressed it. It's on the bell, isn't it? Oh, we've got the light. That's a blower. That one. Get a few rotations out on the wheels and then we can close the drains and we'll get a bit more power. How are we doing? 1264. Oh, I'd love to see Riviera and TSW as well, Rob. It's like I said, it's one of my favourite routes. Going. Oh, hello. We've got green with green, so we're good to keep going. bit of speed now. Green light. It's going to be a signalman, shall we, for the day? How are we looking boiler wise? We're looking okay. We are. Fire masses. We're actually exceeding our ability to put fire mass in at the moment. Fire mass is going back up again. Right, Torquay down platform, that's a waypoint. We're stopping at Goodrington, flight 6.7. We're going to Kingsfield on this. Oh, wow. Of ATC craziness because our next signal is on. We're ready to go when you are, Mr. Signal. What are we waiting for anyway? It's time to get nosy. Ah, Conbray Castle. We caught something up. Nigel Penn, unfortunately there's not a lot I can help you with on the stream. Have you contacted support? Oh, we've got a green light. Nice gamer, we're on Riviera line in the 50s. Yeah, I think we're on a gradient, so it's a little bit tougher to get started. Get rid of that cloud of rubbish from the front, get rid of the wheel slip. Is a steam train not a case of brake and acceleration? Well, you've got throttle, which is not quite what you'd think. You're pouring steam into, pushing steam into cylinders, so there's a lag. A little bit, you've been sometimes at slow speeds, you put the throttle on, take it off, and then the steam train will start moving. So there's a bit of management there. There's a cut-off, which controls how it puts the steam into the cylinders and when, which you've got to manage. Otherwise, either you'll be wasteful of steam or you won't be able to speed up. Slowing down, you've got manually lapped brakes to manage. And then obviously there's a boiler, and there's for injecting water, and there is the firebox for putting coal into. You've got to manage the ideal fire mass so that you get the most efficiency out of the engine. No, driving steam trains is far from trivial. Nothing directly in the code at the moment, Deeps, but discussions, designs, plans, that sort of thing. No, this is just a normal steamer, Rob. No, the challenge with steam is trying to make this accessible for everybody. It's so much fun when you learn it and you get it right, but it's not accessible for everybody by any stretch of the imagination. It's incredibly difficult. Rob J, this is a Grange. Indeed, Steam Master. Once you get the hang of the balancing act and you pay attention to what you're doing, it's easier, a lot easier. Same as PCP. Once you get the hang of it, it's a lot easier. How does coal adding work then? So you've got control over the firebox, the F and Shift F. When the firebox is open, you press the R key and it will start loading coal in. You can't see it, but it's doing it. If you just close the firebox, it stops it. On the steam, the fire mass indicator up here, you can see what it's doing. Or under the F4 key, you can just press that button, it does exactly the same thing. You can see your fire mass down there at 67%. But don't just put loads and loads of coal in. You want to, like I say, you need to put the right amount of coal in, the ideal fire mass. Too far above it will have a massive detriment to your ability to make steam. It smothers the fire, essentially. There is an automatic fireman deeps in this, but the problem with automatic firemen is they're fundamentally flawed because they don't know the route. And so the problem with a lot of automatic firemen, in this one and in NSTS, was that because it was done based on, it's gone below a certain threshold, so I'll put more coal in. It's gone below a certain threshold, so I'll put more water in. Is that the last thing you want in a tough climb is for the fireman to suddenly put the injectors on and destroy your boiler pressure. And similarly, you want to make sure at the bottom of a hill, you've got top boiler pressure. You don't need to put coal on, you don't need to put fire on, so you've got the healthiest engine you can have. So you need the fireman to know to build it up, ready for that, hit the bank, and then keep going. Then you can then drive without more going on. So it just needs more intelligence. Now, that's all achievable, but that's why not a straightforward automatic fire engine, fireman, because they don't really work that well. And then yeah, and as Ed said, not every steam engine is the same. So an automatic fireman sometimes just doesn't even know what to do with it. They've been in TS2020 since the launch of TS when it was done 10 plus years ago, and that's given a lot of experience as to the problems people have deeps. And it's a case of, well, if we're doing it again, or we are doing it again, let's do it better. Not stopping at tore down. Got green with the distant. Oh yes, I am aware of that, Deeves, yes. I remember that. I think that's with the team to have a look at. No, unfortunately, there's enough fuel in there that you can start it up and move it on the engine, but no, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Hey, Volmic. Got all the bandages ready for your car later on, Volmic. I'm hauling standard vans. But these aren't even standard vans, are they? They're bigger than standard vans. Bloaters, yeah, that sounds about right. These are the wagons I like to every now and again shove into the pier at the river at Kingsway. Silly Western engines that you drive on the wrong side. I'm aware of that issue, Deeps, yes. Oh, we're ganging up on him, Derek. I'm liking the sound of this. Let's get some more fire coal loaded onto the fire. We're down to 1,200 pounds, which is where it started. Boiler water levels coming up. Goodrington down loop 1.3. Oops, hello. Speeding. Yeah, I always drive manual fireman, Rob. Yeah, I'm aware of the issue, Deeps. I don't have any update to you on our fix at the moment. Right, we're almost at Goodrington Down Loop, which is where we start, where we left our heroes. Payton. Slowing down slowly. Wait at the loop. You want to place hundreds of people on the beach? Would that be difficult for the game or the PC? Depends on the PC. Yes, the more assets, the more difficult it is to render. Getting overtaken here, are we? No, that's him. Right, what's our stats looking like? The coal is good, we're at 1400, which is the ideal. Good for our climb up the bank now. Water's going in at the moment, which is equally good. Churston down platform is next. 10s would be fine, I would think, Rob. I don't see him having a problem with 10s. Here he comes. See you later, Sniffy. Wait for my light to go green now. How's that water level doing? Time to put it off. Drains open. Carabelga, I am driving a Grange. Brockington Grange. Beautiful loco. About the same as normal Rob, but a slightly different audience, which is the main goal, is to sort of be available for other people. We'll see what Saturday does. I think most people, even though I explained it on the previous day, didn't realise I was streaming at 10 o'clock, and they were really surprised. So by the way, folks, 10 o'clock tomorrow, PM, UK time, 5 hours later than normal. There's no updates, I'm afraid, on the editor Deebs. Vormik, what do all those numbers on the left-hand side of the screen mean? So, speed, how fast you're going, regulator, what's setting the regulators at percent-wise, reverser, train brake the same, boiler pressure, how much pressure you've got in the boiler to put in the cylinders, the higher the better. Steam chest pressure, how much is in the steam chest directly on it, that gives you an idea of what's making it through, but generally you want to worry more about the boiler pressure. Boiler water level, how much water you've got in the boiler, you want that between about 0.8 and 1, you don't want to go above 1, or don't want to go too low. Fire mass, you want to find the ideal fire mass for a loco and keep it at the ideal fire mass, that's how much coal there is. Oh, we got our white light. Steam generation is how effective the system is at creating steam. Steam usage is how much I'm using steam, so as I speed up, as I use the controls, so these will change. You want more steam generation than usage, equals more boiler pressure. Yeah. Cylinder cocks open, brake pipe settings, fuel levels, water levels, and so forth. Which one's important? They're all kind of important, but in different ways for different things, doing different reasons. Brakes are off. One in 78 grade start. Excellent. I did, Vormik. One day. Let's go with that setting. I have no idea what the right setting is. Right, we're rocking. So stream at 5 AM. Did it still say that? I thought we fixed that. Let it slowly build up speed. Jackson Plain was the best route in my opinion. I don't know, I like all sorts of different routes for different reasons. This would probably be one of my favourite steam era routes. London Faversham High Speed, probably one of my favourite modern routes. New York New Haven, one of my favourite American passenger routes. Donna Pass or Canadian Mountain Passes for freight or North American freight routes. See you later, Nice Gamer. No signals to worry about. Braking running. More coal in. That's really bad, Chris. You asked a colleague about where your Volkswagen was parked in the car park. The colleague replied it was company Polo, see? Yellow on top of green. I can't remember the name for it, but I think if you're talking Peninsula Corridor, that normally implies something like 45 miles per hour diversion ahead or something like that. Right, we're coming up on Churston. If Chris isn't going to be ashamed by now, well, he is never going to be ashamed. What I don't know is the home signal for Churston, so hopefully we'll get distant. Distant is on, which probably means that the home is on. Crawl up to this until we find out, until we've got sight of the signal. What does green over red mean? You've got the highball, clear to go. Line speed. We got the green light into Churston. Excellent. Stop coaling, we're at where we need to be. Just got to get into the station now. See us right. Let's get the drains opened, ready for the start. Put the cut off back to full forwards. We've still got water going in. Away from instruction. Excellent. Got green light, so we are good to go. We're on the level. Now we've got the downhill run to Kingswear. This is a Grange, Brockington Grange. I can't remember where we set off from actually. We went certainly via Newton Abbot down really. Yeah, I can't remember where I actually set off from that. Be a little bit careful because there's no point having all the speeds if you need to stop. Right, we cut the power off now, we're going downhill. We're going for a whiz! Whiz down the hill. Yes, JP! Fish fans! They're going in a drink. I like to set the fish free, it's just a thing. Alright, Firebox door is closed as we go into the tunnel. This driver and fireman will live to drive another steam train. That's just about holding the 45 miles an hour down the hill, not quite. But hair more brake on. That's it. Just don't roll down the hill. Slow down a little bit. It's a lovely cab, isn't it? Speed come back up a little bit now. We are coming up on Kingswear Terminus, 25 and 10, so we need to be slowing down in case we want to set our fish free. We're on the coastline here. I've got the next signal is off. Almost down to 25 for the next speed drop. Going though because we've got 10 coming up. Ground signals on for us to carry on in. That's it, we're down to the 10, brakes can come off. Oh, just looked at that ground signal. Never mind. Don't know why that was red though. Never mind. Oh, it was a good run though. Other than the ending, it was a good run, I thought. Hey, never mind. Anyway, there you go, folks. That's the end of that one for that stream for this evening. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you want to see more Steam, make sure you let people know on the forums and on the social medias, because I would like to do more Steam. There's some really cool Steam. So, but I'm going to go and have some dinner now. So no, not again, only me, not tonight. Don't forget that tomorrow is 10 PM on the usual places, and I'll be here with the BR155 on TSW. So please make sure you remember it's 10 PM tomorrow, and then Sunday Sam is back at 5 PM. Okay? That makes sense? Then I'll see you later on. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.